Shabbat Shalom. Welcome to our Shabbat Patio services. Ken and I are so glad to be leading the service, and we so much miss you, of course, here. We know you're joining us from your own living room, and we hope that you're having a good evening and ready for this beautiful Shabbat experience. We also want to let you know that we're using this special siddur that we use during our Kabbalat Shabbat services during the summer. This is something the Ritual Committee and I created a long time ago based on Gates of Prayer, which is the blue edition of our Reformed prayer book that we used to use many, many, many years ago. But this PDF actually is available to you. If you check the Temple website, you will see it there, as well as if you look at tonight's service, it should be available to you wherever you click for tonight's service. It should be right there next to it. And with that, let us begin.
We'll begin our service this evening singing Hine Ma Tov on page 11. Hine ma tovu manayim, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tovu manayim, shevet achim gam yachad. Continue now with L'chad Odi, welcoming the Sabbath Bride. You can find it on pages 16 and 17.
Shalom, Bizarre.
We continue now on page 18 with Mizmor Shir. Mizmor Shir leyom haShabbat, tov lehodot la'Adonai, ulezamer l'shimcha elyon, ulezamer l'shimcha elyon. Mizmor Shir leyom haShabbat, tov lehodot la'Adonai, ulezamer l'shimcha elyon, ulezamer l'shimcha elyon.
We continue on page 23 with lighting of the Shabbat candles. And before I do the reading here that we'll do together on page 23, I'm going to invite you to go ahead and get your candles at home and light your candles at home. You can see here we have our candles, which are not really lighting well anyway, so we hope you'll be able to light them at home as we continue. In every beginning there is darkness. The darkness of chaos seems eternal, yet form emerges, light dawns, and life is born.
In the beginning,
the Most High made heaven and earth. In every beginning there is darkness, the darkness of ignorance which smothers human dignity, the darkness of fear which chokes the creative will, the darkness of tyranny which stifles freedom. The Most High said, "Let there be light." The Sabbath candles celebrate the divine power that makes for life and light.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu להדליק נר של Shabbat.
Say to each other, Shabbat Shalom. On the bottom of page 24, Shabbat is a day of freedom and peace, a celebration of life and creation. May it open our eyes to the goodness we have attained and our hearts to the goodness we may yet achieve. Let moments of holiness enter the world, uniting matter and spirit in the joy of wholeness as we welcome Shabbat, the day of days.
Page 26. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabba, ve'almad yivarach yirutei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayechonu v'yomechon v'chaye dechol beit Yisrael, bakala uvizman kariv ve'imeru amen. Yehi shmei Rabba mevorach le'olam u'lalmei almaya yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yithadar v'yitale v'yitalal shmei dekudsha v'richu le'ela min kol berchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata damiran be'alma v'yimeru amen.
Page 28, we continue with our call to worship, Baruch Hu. And with this Siddur, as I'm sure you remember, we have arrows pointing up and pointing down. If you're able to, invite you to please rise for Baruch Hu. Continue responsively on page 30. There was silence, there was chaos, there was a voice. A mind went forth to form worlds. No order reigns where chaos once held sway. The law makes evening fall, law brings on the dawn. The moon follows accustomed paths, constellations their pattern ways. Sovereign is the will that orders the stars in their courses in the endless skies. Sovereign is that will. Continue on page 31. Page 32. And how unyielding is the will of our people Israel. After the long nights, after the days and years when our ashes blacken the sky, Israel endures, heart still turned to love, soul turning still to life. So day and night, early and late, we will rejoice in the study of Torah. We will walk by the light of mitzvot. They are our life and the length of our days. Praise be the source of life and love, and Israel our people. Invite us to take a deep breath in. Exhaling out. One more deep breath in. Breathing out.
Open up our eyes, teach us how to live, fill our hearts with joy and all the love you have to give. Gather us in peace as you lead us to your name, and we will know that you are one. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. 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 Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto, Leolam Va'ed. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto, Leolam Va'ed. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai
Page 34, we continue with the anthem.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
You shall love the eternal your God with all your mind, with all your strength, with all your being. Set these words which I command you this day upon your heart. Teach them faithfully to your children. Speak of them in your home and on your way, when you lie down and when you rise up. Bind them as a sign upon your hand. Let them be a symbol before your eyes. Inscribe them on the doorposts of your house and on your gates. Be mindful of all my mitzvot and do them. So shall you consecrate yourselves to your God. I, the Eternal, am your God, who led you out of Egypt to be your God. I, the Eternal, am your God. We worship the power that unites all the universe into one great harmony. That oneness, however, is not yet. We see imperfection, disorder, and evil all about us. But before our eyes is a vision of perfection, order, and goodness. These too we have known in some measure. There's evil enough to break the heart, good enough to exalt the soul. Our people has experienced untold suffering and wondrous redemptions. We await a redemption more lasting and more splendid than any of the past. When will redemption come?
When we master the violence that fills our world.
We look upon others as we'd have them look upon us.
When we grant to every person the rights we claim for ourselves.
Once we were in bondage, then we were free. In this first liberation, our people saw revealed the power of the Most High. They perceived that God's presence redeems time and event from the hands of tyrants. We too acclaim the power that makes for freedom, and sing the song that celebrates our deliverance from Egypt and all bondage as we continue with Mi Chamocha on page 37. Page 38, we join together on the bottom of the page. May we lie down this night in peace and rise up to life renewed. May night spread over us a sheltered peace of quiet and calm, the blessing of rest. Will come a time when morning will bring no word of war or famine or anguish. Will come a day of happiness, of contentment, and peace. Praise be the source of joy within us, for the night and its rest, for the promise of peace. We continue now the central portion of our worship with our tefillah on pages 40 and following. Please rise if you're able.
Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor veHanora, El Elyon, Umel Chasadim Tovim, V'konei Hakol, V'zocher Chasdei Avot, V'imahot, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם למען שמו באהבה מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן ברוך אתה אדוני מגן אברהם בעזרת שרה אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני מחיי הכל אתה רב להושיע מוריד אתה, מכלכל חיים בחסד, מחיי הכל ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר, מי כמוך בעל גבורות, ומדומה לו, מלך ממית ומחיה, ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה להחיות הכל, ברוך אתה אדוני, מחיי הכל. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלה, ברוך אתה אדוני, האל הקדוש.
Page 44. The holiness of this day is not for this day alone. We must make it overflow into all our minutes, to hallow our weekdays from these sacred moments, hour by hour to make the world a sanctuary where every human soul may be at home. Oh, may the awe we feel at times, at the miracle of one another united in prayer, be with us tomorrow. Keep tenderness in our words, our touch, and our look. Praise be the world and the power within it that makes for holiness. Please be seated if you're able.
ישמחו במלכותך, שומרי 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 שבת וקורא עונג שבת. ישמחו במלכותך, שומרי 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 שבת וקורא עונג שבת. מקדשי שבי שבת, כולם יסבירו
continue on page 50. We live in two worlds, the one that is and the one that might be. Nothing is ordained for us, neither delight nor defeat, neither peace nor war. Life flows and must freely choose. We can, if we will, change the world that is into the world that may come to be. As you're taught from of old, keep your tongue from evil and your lips from deceitful speech.
Depart from evil and do good, seek peace and pursue it.
Be of the disciples of Aaron, loving peace and pursuing it.
Loving all human beings and bringing them to the Torah.
The whole Torah exists only to bring peace, as it is written.
Its ways are ways of pleasantness, and all its paths are peace.
Let justice dwell in the wilderness, righteousness in the fruitful field.
For righteousness shall lead to peace. It shall bring quietness and confidence forever.
Then all shall sit under your vines and under their fig trees, and none shall make them afraid. We continue now on page 51 with Birkat Shalom. I cannot think of a more important prayer right now than Birkat Shalom, the prayer of peace.
Shalom Al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Me'olam Shalom Rav Al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Ki ata melech Adon lechol hashalom hashalom v'tov beinecha levarech et amcha Yisrael. Shalom Al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Me'olam Shalom Al Yisrael Amcha Tasim בכל עת ובכל שעה בשלומך שלום רב על ישראל עמך תשים לעולם ברוך אתה אדוני המברך את עמו ישראל השלום.
We all say, Amen. Invite us to take a deep breath in, breathing in that sense of shalom, and exhaling out that surus, all that difficulty we don't need to hold on to. Another deep breath in. As we exhale out. So we now take this opportunity to reflect on that makor shalom, that source of peace that lies truly within each one of us, as we pause now in silent reflection.
We now focus our energies on those who are ill and in need of healing. On this Shabbat, we are thinking of Jason Adams, Sally Armendaris, Adam Barish, Hannah Bat Miriam, Eliana Bat Hannah, Abby Purr Baker, Tony Berliner, Arnold Berliner, Robert Berg, Barbara Berlant, Sarah Beinstock, Sandy Beinstock, Spencer Blitchock, Matt Blumstein, Rich Burns, Esther Burton, Dr. Ed Kahn, Bob Kant, Simone Cardenet, Mal Cosman, Hadley Crane, Celeste Donnelly, Elise Epstein, Peter Fathom, Bill Fink, Jason Fishoff, Carolyn Franklin, Barbara Feedman, Sandy Friedman, Holly Fugit, Julie Gleaves, Ruth Bader Ginsburg, Jennifer Guerra, Courtney Hansen, Lee Henderson, Celeste Hutchinson, Barbara Jackowitz, Evelyn Katz-McCosker, Patrice Lacey, Leah Tzvia Batliba Ve'elchanan, Janice Lucero, Young Sung Lat, Father Bill Leninger, Shirley Lerner, Gary Levine, Penny Levine, Austin Lucero, Neil Mendel, Ava Misla, Peggy Monroe, Brad Parkins, Melanie Pearson, Judy Pell, Harriet Reisner, Carol Ross, Marilyn Rudy, Richard Rusnak, Dolores Sams Hoy, Laura Sanders, Leslie Schneider, Corrine Silverman, Sybil Summer, Donna Thyman, Pham Tai Trang, Martha Walker, Teresa Walsh, Claire Cecil Watson, Jean Watson, Nancy Weisenfeld, Dana Williams, Karen Williams, Sue Winton, Sherman Wong. We think of all of those who were mentioned and those who are unmentioned, wishing them each a Refuah Shlemah, a speedy and complete recovery, as we continue with our song for healing.
Sometimes, actually very often, our Parshat HaShavua, our portion of the week, relates to what we are experiencing in our world. This week's portion, Pinchas, from the book of Numbers, is no exception. Like us today, the Israelites are living in uncertain times, as their journey in the desert for 40 years will soon come to an end. The Israelites are unsettled and unsure about life and their future. They are feeling anxious about entering a new land with its new reality and new responsibilities. I am sure what they felt is what many of us are feeling today. We don't know when this pandemic will end. The economic recovery for our nation will take years to recover from. The amount of Americans that are unemployed is staggering. The economic divide grows larger. And we are tired. Oh, we are tired of the racial divide in our country, the violence, the xenophobia. Oy, the list goes on and on. Rabbi Jonathan Sacks states, "A world in which the few prosper and many starve offends our deepest sense of fairness and human solidarity. Disparities of this magnitude, vast, concentrated wealth alongside widespread suffering, is intolerable." Lee Beisel, former dean of Hebrew Union College in Los Angeles, asks some very important questions. George Floyd's murder ignited national protests and calls for racial equality, police reform, and social and economic equity. Will these flames of justice soon become history, like the unrest after the assassination of Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. or after the Rodney King beating? What keeps a movement alive? How do we keep marching toward a world where black lives are really treated as though they matter? During this time of transition, will our institutions ask the right, honest, and difficult questions about how to evolve in a way that will attract those who are unaffiliated, improve listening to those who are not connected to the Jewish community, and really hearing their stories of alienation might allow us to reconstitute our Jewish community in ways that are even more meaningful and inclusive. People are yearning for meaning, spiritual connection, and community. But we also need to answer these real questions as a community. Our ancestors who were about to end their journey and enter the promised land had to change and evolve. It is abundantly clear that we have to do the same in order to enter a promised land of just and equal society. Are we willing to do so? Something for us to think about. Shabbat Shalom. We continue on Elena on page 114. Please rise if you are able.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוסד הארץ, ומושב יקרו בשמיים ממעל, ושכינת עוזו בגופי מרומים, הוא אלוהינו עינות, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד.
Please be seated.
We now come to the moment in our service where we think about those in our families and community who have died recently or in years past. We especially think of those that are grieving the Shiva, the first week of mourning, for Rebecca Lynn Decker, daughter of Janice Perwin Decker and Barry Decker, and sister of Rachel Decker and Alicia Hirsch. We are also thinking of those that are grieving the Shana, the first year of mourning, for Marion Berghoffen, Raymond Berman, Rabbi Samuel Brood, Carrie Broding, Laura Bruckheimer, Alexander Burstein, Stephen Ronnie Bush, Idel Kagan, Dr. Bernard Cohen, Rabbi Sissy Corin, Vivian David, Jean Donnelly, Michael Dubrow, Marie Edwards, Mark Emanuel, Bert Epstein, Glenn Farber, Jackie Fazio, Beverly Furman, Marvin Fox, Helen Marchick Goldman, Melvin Grant, Lorna Hoffman, Joan Hammer, Susan Hammer, Dolores Jaffe, Seema Jaffe, Jerry Kane, Lori Kaplan, Brana Reuven Kate, Rabbi Peter Noble, Lori LeMay, Judy Siegler Lieberson, David Dudy Messinger, Irene Neal, Richard Pasco, Nancy Pfister, Curtis Lee Robinson, Laura Marie Rosen, Edith Rosenberg, Barbara Rudnicki, Victor Ratner, Fred Retchen, David Reisner, Leo Rinsler, Ron Roth, Lorraine Samuel, Jane Schwartz, Ruth Silen, Arthur Silver, Marilyn Silver, Sophie Simons, Frances Singer, Alice Sklar, Sandra Sokolek, Bruce Summer, Bernard Spillman, Joan Rusnak Weinberg, and Jill Wernick. And this Shabbat we are observing the Yahrzeits, the anniversary of the passing of Stephen Asmussen, Shirley Azen, Leslie Bamberg, Judy Blake, Irving Goodman Bob, Arthur Kagan, Herman Kagan, Harry Cohen, David A. Cohen, Harry Fredkin, Corinne Gold, Daniel Harris, Miriam Hunter, Bertha Jacobs, Lawrence H. Candle, Rose Kaufman, Max Kaufman, Ethel Cohen Kipperman, Sid Kowalski, Pauline Kowalski, Edith Stein Kovnat, Jack Leiter, Leo Lindauer, Isidore Marks, Dorothy Mowry, Escher Pintoff, Rachel Rhine, Richard Rocker, Richard N. Sal, Karina Salzman, Walter Saltzman, Leo Siegel, Helen Siegel, Molly Siegler, Morley Silverman, Judson Thurston, Adelia Vinikovetsky, Chlorine Wheeler, Roberts J. Wright. Zichronam livracha, may the memories of all our loved ones endure as a blessing as we continue with the Mourner's Kaddish.
We continue with Kadisha, Tom, a Mourner's Kaddish on page 119. Yitgadal v'yitgadash me Rabba, ve'amad yivrach liutei ve'amlich malchutei, ve'chayechon uvyomechon v'chayei d'chol beit Yisrael, bagalav uzman kariv imru amen. Yehei shme Rabba mevorach le'olam olmei almaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yithadar v'yitalei v'yitalal, שמי וקודשה ברכו, לעולם מכל ברכתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה, דאמירן בלמה ואמרו אמן. יהי שלמה רבה משמיה, וחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל, אמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום, עלינו ועל כל ישראל, ועל כל יושבי תבל, ואמרו amen. May the source of peace send peace to all who mourn, comfort to those who are bereaved among us, wherever they may be, as we say together, amen.
And we conclude our service with the singing of Oseh Shalom, a wish for peace, as we rest together on this Shabbat. עושה שלום במרומה, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו. עושה שלום במרומה, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו. עושה שלום במרומה, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. עושה שלום במרומה, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו. עושה שלום במרומה, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו. עושה שלום במרומה, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל.
Shabbat Shalom.